Students, today we'll discuss about the enhancement to basic decision tree inductions. In the previous class, we discussed about the decision tree induction algorithm with an examples, and today we'll discuss about the enhancement of decision tree inductions. Here we have three different parameters. One is continuous valued attributes, second one is missing attribute values, and third one is attribute constructions. In the first case, continuous valued attributes. So when we have process with a large data set of data, there we have continuous value attributes. In decision tree induction algorithm, dynamically define new discrete valued attributes that partition the continuous valued attributes value into a discrete set of intervals. Means we have continuous attribute values, it can be partitioned into discrete valued attributes. When we do partitions, it will be in discrete set of intervals. The second one is missing attribute values. The decision tree induction algorithm, it will also handle missing attribute values. There it will assign the most common value of the attribute. It will also assign the probability to each of the possible values. Suppose when we have training set data, there we have a number of values. For each and every value, there will be one common value, and same way it will assign probability to each of the possible values. The next one is attribute constructions. Means it create new attributes based on existing one that are sparsely represented. This reduces fragmentation, repetition, and replications. Here, a new attributes can be constructed based on the existing attributes which is available in the training data set. By doing like this, we can reduce the fragmentations, repetitions, and replications. The next one is classification in large databases. First point, classification, a classical problem extensively studied by statisticians and machine learning researchers. People, those who have statistical knowledge and machine learning knowledge, those people completely involved in studying about the classification of large data set. Okay, this concept basically it helps for the researchers. The second one is scalability. Scalability in a sense, when we apply the classification in the large data set with millions of examples and hundreds of attributes with reasonable speed. So we can apply this classification in a large database, okay, with reasonable speed. By that we can scale our classifications. The next one, why we need to go for decision tree induction. Why? Because it is faster learning speed. That is, when you compare with this classification with other classifications, it is reasonably relatively faster learning speed. The second one, it is very simple and easy to understand the classification rule. So when we have a classification, there we'll try to generate some classification rules. The generated classification rule can be easily understood by the peoples. Next, by using basic SQL queries, we can access the databases in the classifications. Next, comparable classification accuracy with other methods. So when we do any classification in any large database, there the classification accuracy can be compared with other methods also. By that we can tell the accuracy of the these induction algorithms. Next, the scalability framework for rainforest. Here, they separate the scalability aspects from the criteria that determine the quality of the tree. Here, the scalability and the quality will be separated. It is not, it won't disturb the quality when you increase the scalability, or when you increase the number of attributes or values. It won't disturb the quality of the tree. And here we'll build a ABC list. ABC is nothing but attribute, value, and class labels. It is a ABC set. It will be called as ABC set. Here, in ABC set, the projection on training data set to the attribute X and class label, where counts of individual class labels are aggregated. Here we have training data set in which we have number of attributes. These training data set can be defined by the attributes which is present in the data set, as well as the class label which is defined in each and every attributes. Our next one is ABC group. So node n, a set of ABC sets of all predictor attributes at the node n. Now we can take an example. A training example is given in a table. Here we have different label like age, income, student, credit ratings, and buys computers. In age group, we have different age groups like less than 30, 31 to 40 range, and greater than 40, and then less than or equal to 30, okay, and greater than 40, like that. We have different groups. For each and every groups, we have different incomes also. The income is categorized in three ways. One is high, then medium, then low. So three different incomes are there. And another label is a student. There we have two category. One is yes, another one is no. If he is a student, what is the status? If he is not a student, what is the status? Okay. So for that they have given two categories over here. Then credit rating. In credit rating, again we have two different status, either fair or excellent. If he is a fair, what is the status of buying computer? If he is excellent, what is the status in buy computer? Okay. So the details is given as an example. From this table, we are going to have different table. These are partitions. Okay. It is a continuous values. We can partition into discrete interval values, like that with respect to age. So when we do partitions, we need to take any one label. So with respect to one label, how the status can be identified. With respect to another label, how the status is identified. Here we can take first age, then income, then student, then credit rating. With respect to age, what is the buying status? With respect to income, what is the buying status? With respect to student, what is the buying rating? Buys computer. With respect to credit rating, what is the buys computer status? The first small table you can take age. So age group is taken over here. That is less than or equal to 30, and 31 to 40, then greater than 40. Here we have two different status in bikes computers. One is yes, another one is no. So if it is yes, what is the age group? Or if the age group is less than or equal to 30, then the bikes computer status yes is 2 and no is 3. Same way, okay, if the age group is 31 to 40, then the status of bikes computer is yeah, if it is yes, it is 4. If it is no, it is 0. Same way, if the age group is, if it is greater than 40, then by computer status yes equal to 3 and no equal to 2. So with respect to age, the by computer status is categorized as a small sample. Okay. Now we will, with respect to income, we can go to identify the by computer status. Here the income is in three different divisions. One is high, then medium, then low. Suppose the income is high, what is the status of Bayes computer? Here if it is yes, it is a 2. If it is no, it is a 2. Okay, it is equal. Okay, if the income is medium, then obviously the possibility of getting computer will be high than no. So here is given for if it is medium income, then the Bayes computer yes status is 4 and no status is 2. And if it is low income, then Bayes computer is 3 and by computer no status is 1. The third one is student. If student, we have two divisions. One is yes and one is no. If he is a student, then what is the possibility of buying computer? If he is not a student, then what is the possibility of buying computer status? Now we can take, if he is a student, the status is yes. If he is yes, then by computer the yes status is 6 and no status is 1. Okay. And the same way, if he is not a student, then by computer yes status is 3 and no status is 4. So with respect to student, we can categorize these values with respect to this main training set values. Finally, we will categorize these values with respect to credit rating. There we have two different types. One is fair, another one is excellent. So ABC is set on credit rating. Here with respect to credit rating, fair, if he is fair, the Y computer yes status is 6 and no status is 2. The same way in the credit rating, if it is excellent, then by computer yes status is 3 and by computer no status is 3. So like that, if the training set of data, if it is given, this can be partitioned into different way. By that you can easily understand how the data can be categorized. So when we partition the table, the data set, for each and every time we need to depend on the label. So with respect to label or with respect to attribute, we have to categorize these values. This is nothing but rainforest. There is a training set and it's a ABC sets. The next one is a boat. It's a bootstrapped optimistic algorithm for tree construction. Here it is going to use statistical technique called bootstrapping to create several smaller samples, each fits in some memory. So once if they given training set data, it can be divided into a number of small samples. Okay. When we create several smaller sample, we have to ensure that it should be fit into memories. By using board, it is possible we can fit all the samples into memory. Each subset is used to create a tree, resulting in several trees. So when we have a training data set, there it can be divided into number of subsets, and from each and every subset we will create a tree. By that, when we have more number of subset, we will have more number of trees. When we have more number of trees, obviously we will be getting more number of results also. So these trees are examined and used to construct a new tree T. It turns out that T is very close to the tree that would be generated using the whole data set together. Okay. See, for example, when we find a tree, when we find the value of the tree, the value will be very close to the data set which is already generated. The advantage here, by using both method, here it requires only two scan of TB as and incremental algorithm. So it is the presentation of classification results. Here we can see the first the circle, it is a environmental line. The second circle is go sports line, and the third one is um, outdoor presets. See here, see you can, if you look at this diagram, you can see it is constructed like a tree structure. There will be a root node. From there you have two branches. From there you have again two branches. Then finally it will be terminated. So the tree presentation will be, when we do classifications, it will be like that. This is another visualization of decision tree in SGI mindset. So here you can see, when you go and do any classifications in the training data set, like you can take sports data or cricket data, football data, like that you can take any number of data. Okay. The data can be classified in the same structure. By that, easily we can understand the rules which is defined in the classifications, as well as we can understand the results also. Okay. This is also one of the visualizations of decision tree in SGI. This is another interactive visual mining by perception based classification. Okay. This is also one of the visualization presentation visualizations of a mining. It is based on um, perception based classifications. It can be defined like shortly, uh, it will be called as PBC. Mm. So here we have different samples, and each and every sample will have different colors. How this main color it is given, how it is branched, and how it is terminated. So everything will be given with the different colors as well as different um, connectivities. So with this, okay, induction tree decision tree induction algorithm will be finished. Then we'll go to the introduction part for base classification methods. So Bayesian classification. Why we need to go for Bayesian classification? So it is a statistical classifier. It performs probabilistic predictions. It predicts the class membership probabilities. So basically, it is a statistical classifier. So obviously, it will perform only probabilistic predictions. That means it predict class membership probability. And second one is foundations. Okay, it is purely based on Bayes theorem. Bayesian theorem purely based on Bayes theorem. The performance of the Bayesian classification is, it's a very simple Bayesian classifier, and it will be called as Navy Bayesian classifier. There has been comparable performance with the decision tree and the selected neural network classifier. Means we will be able to compare this Bayesian classifier output or performance with the decision tree as well as selected neural network classifiers. And here we have one process that is like incremental, in which each training example can incrementally increase or decrease. Incrementally, the probability that the hypothesis is correct prior knowledge can be combined with the observed data. So when we have training, the training will be either increase or decrease, but it can be incrementally performed. The probability that performed the probability that a hypothesis is the correct prior knowledge can be combined with the observed data. And the standard. So the Bayesian classifier is a standard one. Uh, this method are computationally intractable. They can provide a standard of optimal decision making against which other methods can be measured. Okay. So basically, the probability theorem will be defined like P of B equal to sigma I equal to 1 to m P of B by A I into P of A I. So this is the basic probability theorem. So with this, the base theorem is derived like P of H by X equal to P of X by H into P of H divided by P of X. This can be again derived like P of X by H into P of H divided by P of X. Here X is the data sample, that means is evidence. Okay. So it's a class label. Okay. It is a class label unknown, and H be a hypothesis that X belongs to a class C. Now, so classification is to determine P of H by X, that is posterior probability, the probability that the hypothesis hold given the observed data sample X. Okay. So finally we have to calculate how this classification can be determined, can be performed. So we need to calculate P of H by X. Okay. Here P of H in prior probability, that is initial probability. Example, if you take X, X will be by computer regardless of age, income and others. And P of X, we have to remember when we go for the next slide, the P of X is nothing but the probability that the sample data is observed. Okay. And we have to calculate the P of X. And another one is, from that we have to calculate P of X by H equal to its likelihood, the probability of observing the sample X given that the hypothesis hold. Example, the given that X will be a bicomputer, the probability that X is 31 to 40, it's a range, and medium income. So with respect to some attribute values like age and income, will be able to know the status of bicomputer. So it is a prediction based on Bayes theorems. Okay. Here the given training data, if it is X, then posterior probability of hypothesis H, then it can be defined. The Bayes theorem is defined like P of H by X equal to P of X by H into P of H divided by P of X. It can be defined like P of X by H into P of H divided by P of X. So informally this can be viewed as posteriori equal to likelihood into prior or by evidence. Here the X predicts belongs to Ci if the probability P of Ci by X is the highest among all the P of Ck by X for all the K classes. So what is the practical difficulty over here? It requires initial knowledge of many probabilities involving significant computational cost. So completely here we are going to discuss about the probability. So we need to have the basic knowledge of probability. Why? Because we are going to involve in probability concept, and this concept involving significant computational cost also. It's a prediction based on Bayes theorems. Classification is to derive the maximum posteriori. Okay. See here, let D be the training set. We can take a training data set, it's a D. There we have number of tuples and their associated class labels, and each tuple is represented by an ND attribute vector. The D attribute vector will be defined like X equal to x1, x2, so and so xn. Now we know what is the value of X. X is nothing but x1, x2, so and so xn. Suppose there are m classes, then the classes can be defined like C1, C2, so and so Cm. Then now the classification is to derive the maximum posteriori, that is the maximal P of Ci by X. This can be derived from Bayes theorem. That the theorem will be defined like this: P of Ci by x equal to P of x by Ci into P of Ci divided by P of x. The value for P of x is a constant for all the classes, so it can be redefined like P of uh, Ci by x equal to P of x by Ci into P of Ci. It needs to be maximized. So this Navier classifier we will discuss in the next class.